It's hard not to break the rules.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is, yeah, yo, yeah. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for a notification of the uploads, baby. And for those of you who are returnees, and you ain't got the minerals, yeah. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. Hey, listen, I appreciate you guys. Listen, let's talk about. Hey, don't forget to get your merchandise down below. Grab your minerals hoodie and t-shirt now, blood. In fact, grab yourself a cushion while you're there as well. You understand? All right, cool. We're talking to you guys about Francesca and Kelz. Oh my freaking days! What does Francesca think? Does Francesca think that my man's a dickhead, because that's the way she was treating him? Listen, so Francesca, first of all, knew exactly what she was doing. Pretended as if like she was just trying to get to know Kelz. No, you're trying to use him, yeah, to get at your boy Harry, because you can't be bothered to face the music yourself and actually just deal with the fact that you are not being chased by Harry. That's the whole point. It's not because you were suddenly missing Harry. No. What you were is the fact that you lost your power. That's your problem, right? You lost your power, and so now you try to use Kelz as a way to get at Harry, and but then pretend as if I actually really wanted Kelz. You probably wanted to have sex with him, but that would only then infuriate Harry, because that's the whole point. You want to mess things up with Harry. Not that you genuinely want a connection with Kelz, because if that was the case, you would have gone with it, right? Cool. So look. First thing she does, she moves to Kelz in the hammock.
Francesca's got her eye on a different stud.
I'm not getting to know Kelz to make Harry jealous. I don't care to make Harry jealous, but if it happens, it happens.
And now they're cuddling up. It's all cute, it's all bubbly, it's all nice, yeah? And so they all enjoy it. And then what you see is that later on, when they're doing the non-vocal challenge, they're quite intimate in terms of the hugging, it's quite close, quite touchy. And at one point, actually, what Kelz does is that when she hugs him, I think it's on the second occasion when she asks for another hug. When he was like, oh, what, do you want another hug or something? And she was like, yeah, she wants to hug him. And it was very intimate. Now, it's because Harry was in the place, she was showing him off. When he hugged her, he actually kissed the top of her arm when he did it. Very, very smart guy. I saw him, sneaky little play there. Nice little kiss there. What does that kiss mean? It's a very intimate kiss. To kiss somebody on the arm, trust me, it's intimate. It's not a small thing, bruv. And what it promotes is this sense of security, and also promotes, again, this kind of, I care about you, right? You don't kiss someone on the arm when it's just trying to be sleazy, yeah? You kiss someone on the arm when you care about the person. You understand? The same with the forehead thing. When you're trying to be sleazy, you don't kiss them on the forehead. You understand? That's the cute stuff that you do. You understand? Relationship kind of things. You feel me? All right, cool. What I didn't like is I felt like Harry called Kelz a peanut brain, and I was looking at him and he thinks he's and Harry thought he was better looking than Kelz. I was like, I don't know where you're coming from, baby. You're pretty salty right now, brother. You're acting a bit salty, buddy. You better calm yourself down before you break yourself, before you wreck yourself. You understand? And I was like, I wasn't feeling that. Do you know what I mean? And then, not only that, later on we see that when they come to join the group, Francesca is sitting in the same chair with Hayley, but she's sitting right next to Kelz. So again, what she's doing, she's in the public setting, making sure that she can be seen that she's with Kelz, right? Yeah? She can make sure she can be seen that she's moving on in another space. Do you understand? To get my man to feel a certain way. Do you feel me? Very, very smart play. She was just doing proximity and positioning very, very well. I keep telling you, it's like battleships. You got to position yourself correctly. Same with Ruth. She did it in the Bible. Ruth did the same thing to Boaz. When Ruth, and it said, Naomi told Ruth, go and sit at the feet of Boaz at the threshing floor. When he wakes up, be there. You understand? And when she did, what happened? He ended up taking her on board and making her his wife thing. You understand? So it's important, positioning, key. Let's go to the actual date now. The actual date was a Mazaline, brother, because I love Kelz. He's a smooth operator, man. He didn't dive in. He didn't jump in. He didn't get too excited. Man just kind of rocked with it, you understand? He said, listen, I'm not going to move to no girls. Girls going to move to me, so it is what it is, you understand? But he kept it nice and cool, nice and calm, nice and collected. Then, they're in the water, yeah, and Harry and Sharon walk past. Now, here's a big deal. They intentionally walked past there. They didn't need to walk past there, but they walked past there because they wanted to see what was going on, yeah? And again, positioning. You know what I'm saying? Once again, positioning by Francesca. Let me tell you something about Francesca. She's a game player. She knows, very smart. She knows what she's doing. Do you understand? And she's positioned herself well here. And what her game here to do is to get Kelz to break the rules. It's to get him to break the bond. It's to him to break the law. Why? Because it's a sense of power.
I like the idea of getting a green light, but I don't know if not getting one is gonna stop me from doing what I want to do.
To rule break or not to rule break.
It's not just for her desire. It's the fact that if she can get Kelz, the accountant, the alpha male, the dominant one, the one that doesn't speak too much, to break underneath her power, then she's Adonis. Because what she's exhibiting is what we call, I call it, we have alpha males, we have also, I don't know what they call it, alpha female, but she's trying to do that too. Right? She's trying to do what the Bible says in Genesis 3:16 says, which is that the woman will pine after her husband, the husband will rule thee, right? The woman will try to control the husband, try and control Kelz. So she tries to get him to break the rules, right? It's very interesting. Watch this. She actually closes the gap between them two. When in the water, she closes the gap between the two. And she compliments him 3 times. On 3 separate occasions, she compliments him on his smile, right? And the reason why she keeps saying the smile is because she wants the lips. You understand? So she's commenting a body part where she wants to attack. She tells him on 3 separate occasions, you got a nice smile, you got a nice smile, you got a nice smile.
You have the cutest smile. I love when you smile. It lights up my life, I think, every time you smile. I'm just like, sheesh.
And, you know, when she begins to close the gap, it's interesting because when the tension gets too much, Kelz does something that's really, really interesting. He turns away and laughs. On more than one occasion, I think on 2 or 3 occasions, he turns away and laughs. Because what he's trying to do is avoid staying in that intense, intimate moment so that he doesn't kiss, he doesn't go over the line, because he's set himself a boundary. He's told everybody else, you've got to obey the law. He has to be above the law. He has to be above reproach. I said this already in my review with Kelz and Matthew. And so what he's saying is that, listen, I've got to be above the law. We've got these watches. There shouldn't even be he said to himself, there shouldn't be no reason as to why we're breaking the law. Do you understand? But she doesn't hear that, because all she hears is a challenge.
You make it hard. I mean, I'm the rule breaker, so...
And I'm the Kelvin.
You know, and Kelz is not stupid. He's aware of what she's doing. So what he does is that he says, listen, you know what? You know, 3,000 is 3,000. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't mind kissing you, but 3,000 is important, right? And obviously, and the reason why he can be so strong in this position is because he gets girls. So getting girls is never an issue for him. When you don't get girls, you're under pressure. That's most of us. Those of us who are on Adonis, who girls come up to him or come up to them, don't struggle with this issue. They listen, fam, if you want to do something, you can do something. If you don't want to do something, you don't do something. But as for me, I'm gonna obey this law. You understand? And if you move, you move. You understand? I'm not gonna entertain it. But if you move, you move. It's up to you. You understand? You look stupid in the end. So I think that was a key instrument in the way he was able to behave and be rigid and be able to be resisting the temptation that he may have been feeling. And then obviously, you know, Francesca tries to bait him out, just like Sharon tried to do to Rhonda when he woke her up at 2 o'clock in the morning to speak about sex. She does the same thing. She goes, she tries to bait him by saying, when Sharon says, how horny are you? I mean, how close are you to breaking this? Like, how close are you to breaking and having sex? Right? When he asked that question, it was a baited question. Francesca does that same thing. She projects onto him by saying, look,
You want to lose $3 grand really bad right now, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. I'd love to lose $3 grand right now.
Really?
Yeah, kind of waiting for Lana to give me like the green light.
saying that you want to lose £3,000, but he then what he does, he goes, actually addresses it and says, yeah, I'm on it, but you know what? He just kind of yeah, I'm on it, but doesn't say anything else. Just kind of leaves it there. Why? Again, he's not gonna fall for this trick. He's not gonna surrender to the fact that a kiss needs to happen now. Do you understand? And then obviously, then he looks at his watch, and actually Francesca tells him off. Why are you looking at your watch? Stop looking at your watch. And the reason why she's telling him to stop looking at his watch is because she wants him to break the rules. But he ain't gonna break the rules. He's too strong for that, baby. So she's like, oh, stop looking at your watch. As a way to kind of control him, to get him to understand that, listen, you looking at the watch for the green light so you can move ahead. I don't want that. I want you to move mad. You understand? I don't want the good dog. I want the bad dog. I want the mad dog. I want the crazy dog. I want the angry dog. I want the flaring dog. I want the barking, the biting dog. I don't want a puppy. You understand? She leans in leans into whisper sign, so she gets really close now, and leans in and says, "Shall we kiss?" Because now look, this is the second time she's done this, so she's trying to really get this boy to move, to get him to execute and actually do something that he doesn't want to do. Do you understand? Like, she's really trying all the tricks of the trade, whispering in man's ear, telling man that you want this, projecting onto him, all that stuff, but it's not affecting Kelz. He's still in the mode of, listen, bro, if you want to do it, then, you know, fam, I'm not gonna. He's not about it. He actually leans away as she does this. When she speaks in his ear, he actually leans away again with that smile on his face. And then obviously, you know, it's interesting that they get really close, where she's actually looking down into his eyes because she's up more elevated. He's got his arm wrapped around her. It's looking hella sexual, bruv. Yeah, it looks like it's ready to go rounds. Do you feel me? But you know, you look at her stare towards him. She's like, she literally wants to eat him. She literally wants to desire. And what it is a desire for him. Do you understand? She really wants to chomp at the bit. Do you understand? But he's not biting. And even though she's up, you know, in a more dominant position in terms of levels and looking down into him, he still refuses to give in. What she wanted is for him to give in, yeah, become like a Harry almost, where he would surrender to her, but he's not gonna do that.
If what we have is real, we can still kiss another time.
What the?
But Francesca is not willing to give up just here. No, she's not willing to give up just here. So she has to take it to the streets. So what happens is they go into have a shower, right? He's minding his own damn business, okay? Open his man damn business. Talking to nobody and just doing what he needs to do. Do you understand? And then Francesca's like, oh, you know, we should shower together. Okay, she's inciting it now. And then she doesn't just finish there. She actually then becomes a predator and actually goes into his shower to touch him up. You understand? She's trying everything to make this guy break the rules. Do you understand? She just loves the power to make a guy kiss her. She doesn't want sex. I keep telling this, she don't want sex. You understand? Maybe if he offered it, maybe she would take it because then it'll be a rule breaking and again. But she just wants to kiss. She wants a physical touch. She wants that. She wants to be able to have that power to make a man desire her. The kiss is an action of desire for her. Do you understand? That's why she keeps asking for a kiss. It's a mad thing. You know, she touched him up. She was naked in front of him, bruv. She literally was open sesame. So if she goes back to old boy Harry, she better tell him the whole truth if he's gonna accept her as to what she was really doing, blood. And like, the more that he resists, the more that she chases. Until the next morning when she realizes that blood, he's not gonna cave in. And what happens then? Embarrassment sets in. And then she realizes, oh wait, I gotta go back to my safety net. You came out of the dusk, of the dirt, blood. Yeah, to go into man to try and get man to fail. And then when you realize it wasn't working, you go back to your safety net. Harry. Right? So she tells Kelz, listen, I don't think it's gonna...
I think we should just take a step back and like stay friends for now.
Cool.
Work, it's better we remain friends. And he says, cool, all right, bus. And it was a last throw of the dice. And she said, oh, see, that didn't go the way that I thought it would go. Do you know what I mean? And what did she think it was going to go by? What? Man's going to start talking the talk? No. Man ain't interested, blood. Man ain't interested. Man ain't interested. You understand? That was a review, guys, of Francesca and Kelz. Hope you enjoyed that review. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell button down below for the uploads. And make sure if you're part of the Minerals gang, grab yourself a t-shirt. Grab yourself a hoodie. Think before you do. Don't do before you think. I should be thinking about what you got to do. You understand?